Good morning, dear students. So, welcome back in the online classes, class 8 science classes. And as you know, that we have started our chapter 8 cell structure and function. So, in our previous video of this lesson, we have studied about discovery of the cell, and we have studied about the unicellular and multicellular organisms, and we have discussed about the size of the cell and shape of the cell. So today we are going to take a topic, cell structure and function. You have learned that each living organism has many organs. You have studied in class 7 about the digestive organ, which together constitute the digestive system. Each organ in the system performs different functions such as digestion, assimilation, and absorption. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specific specialized function. For example, roots help in the absorption of water and minerals. Leaves, as you have learned in class 7, are responsible for synthesis of food. So each organ in further made up of smaller parts called tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cell performing a specific function. So students, we know that group of similar cells is called tissue. That means we can say that cells which are similar in structure combining together and forming tissue. Then tissue form the organ, and different types of organ that are responsible for performing the specific function combining together and constituting a special type of organ system. So students, we can say that cell is the structural unit of the organism, because similar cells combining together and performing the specific function, that is called tissue. So tissue is a cluster of cells or group of similar cells, then tissue combining together and forming the organs, and organs combining together and form the organ system, and different types of organ systems combining together and forming the organism. So we can say that various organ systems make up a living organism. So all organs that work together to perform a specific life function form an organ system, like esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas are all organs that work together to digest the food, hence form the digestive system. Similarly, respiratory system, excretory system, reproductive system have different sets of organ which work together to carry out the life process. So this is all about the structural and functional unit of the life. So we can say basically the structural and functional unit of the life is cell. Cell combining together form the tissue, tissue combining together form the organ, and organ combining together form the organ system, and the various organ system make up a living organism. Paley realized that an organ is made up of tissue, which in turn are made up of cells. So the cell in living organism is basic structural unit. So now we are going to study in detail about the cell structure, or we can say the parts of the cell. So students, in each cell, three main components are present. We know that cells differ in their shapes and size. All cells, however, show some similarities in their structure. So a typical cell consists of main three parts or three components. They are cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. So first we will discuss about the cell membrane. The basic component of a cell are cell membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. The cytoplasm and the nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane, also called the plasma membrane. So every cell is bound by a thin delicate membrane called cell membrane or plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another and also the cell from the surrounding medium. The plasma membrane is porous and allows the movement of substances or materials both inward and outward. So this is the main function of cell membrane or plasma membrane. We can say that plasma membrane is porous and allows the entry and exit of only selected substances. It also prevents the movement of some other substances across it. So it is called selectively permeable membrane. And the boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane. So we can say that it provides an outer boundary to the cell and separates the cells from one another and also from the surrounding medium. It also protects the cell from injury. So students, one activity is given. In this activity, we have to take an onion, and in order to observe the basic component of the cell, we have to make the slide of onion peel. So take an onion bulb, remove the dry pink covering that is called peels. You can easily separate these from the fleshy white layers of the bulb with the help of forceps or even with your hand. You can also break the onion bulb and separate out thin layer. Place a small piece of the thin onion peel in a drop of water on a glass slide. The thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces with the help of blade or forceps. Add a drop of methylene blue solution to the layer and place a cover slip on it. While placing the cover slip, ensure that there are no air bubble under the cover slip. Then observe the slide under the microscope and draw and label. You may compare it with figure 8.5. So students, when we are making the slide of onion peel, then what we have to do, we have to cut a slice of an onion and peel off its skin from inner side by using forceps, and we can use our hand also. So then place this peel, or we can say skin of the inner side, in the watch glass that is containing water. Then we will contain the water in the watch glass. This will prevent the onion peel from getting dry. Then with the help of a dropper, put a drop of water on a clean slide. Then place the thin piece of onion peel on the water drop and put a drop of methylene blue that is used for staining. So methylene blue on the onion peel to stain it. So with the help of a needle that is called mounting needle, cover the onion peel with the cover slip and taking care that there are no air bubbles in it. Then observe the slide in the microscope. Then you will observe the slide and you will see the nucleus and cell membrane and cytoplasm in the slide. And slide will be like in the figure 8.5 given. Then you that slide you can, in that type of slide you can observe this type of figure that is given in the figure 8.5, cell observed in an onion peel. So this type of components of the cell you can observe in the slide of the onion peel. So there is a nucleus, cytoplasm and cell membrane is also present. So boundary of the onion cell is the cell membrane covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. So students, in the plant cell, the another cover is present that is bound the cell membrane, that is called cell wall. So the central dense round body in the center, as you can see in the figure 8.5, that is called nucleus, and the jelly like substance between the nucleus and the cell membrane is called cytoplasm. I want to know why plant cell need cell wall. For extra protection, plants need cell wall. Okay, you have learned earlier that the cell membrane gives shape to the cell. In addition to the cell membrane, there is an outer thick layer in the cells of the plants called cell wall. This additional layer surrounding the cell membrane is required by plants for protection. So plant cells need protection against variation in temperature, high wind speed, atmospheric moisture, etc. So they are exposed to these variations because they cannot move. Cells can be observed in the leaf peel of Tedescantia, Elodia and Rio. You can prepare a slide as in the case of onion. So you can make the slide of Rio also, as we have made the slide of onion peel, and you can observe these components in the slide of Rio also. Paheli asked Bujo if he can also observe animal cell. Yes, we can observe animal cell also. So in the lab we are preparing the slide of animal cell cheek cell. So take a clean toothpick or a matchstick with the tip broken. Scrape inside of your cheek without hurting it. Place it in a drop of water on a glass slide. Add a drop of iodine and place a cover slip it. Alternatively, add 1-2 drops of methylene blue solution. Observe it under the microscope. You may notice several cells in the scrapped material that is given in figure 8.6, and you can identify the cell membrane, the cytoplasm and the nucleus. A cell wall is absent in animal cell. So students, the figure that is 8.6, human cheek cell is given. So this is the diagram of human cheek cell, and human cheek cell you can observe nucleus, cytoplasm, nuclear membrane and cell membrane. So students, in animal cell or we can say human cell, cell wall is absent. So this is all about the slide of cell, and in the cell you can see the nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane. They are the main component of the cell. So this is all about today's class, students, and we will continue the next component of the cell, that is cytoplasm and nucleus, in our next video. Thank you everyone.